All right, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned into Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. I am your host, Shon Williams, aka Mr. President, and this is the Safe Room, a safe space for business owners and entrepreneurs in Toronto to share their personal stories. And today, I have a fabulous guest. This has been a conversation that honestly it's been delayed, but with good reason. Both of us are very busy individuals, but this man right here, let me tell you about the guest I have. I would say he's Mr. Networking. That's the little name I've given him for this conversation. Mr. Christopher Lawrence, a visionary entrepreneur, officially founded Frequency Event Promotions in 2019. You're going to know very well about Frequency Event Promotions by the end of this conversation. I can guarantee you that. This business offers marketing, advertising, and printing services to a variety of clients, both locally and across Canada, the United States, as well as the Caribbean. Shout out the Caribbean right now. You done know. In addition, Frequency Event Promotion hosts business-focused events such as podcast shows, network mixers, and social gatherings. Christopher's passion for delivering exceptional and timely service is a top priority, and he's constantly seeking ways to enhance the efficiency of his business. Enough said. We're done with the intro. Let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. My guest, Mr. Christopher Lawrence. Chris, how are you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me on your show. I love the work that you're doing. I'm sure you don't need me to say this, but keep up the great work. But I'm really happy to be here. I'm amped. Let's do it.
Yes, I'm super excited. And like I mentioned at the beginning, this has been long overdue. I know we were trying to get something in since last year. It's been just like a matter of like pushback. But now that we're here, so I am excited to talk a little bit more about Frequency Event Promotion, some of the stuff you got coming up. I mean, it's a little exciting around this time of the year for the business. So I love to see people just getting the chance to do what they do. And you are someone that, again, is like super busy, always looking to just make people bring people together. The networking aspect, again, that's why I call you Mr. Networking. I feel like this is your like niche. This is what you do.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I love it. If I could change my middle name from what it is to now network, I would do it. But, with paperwork, probably, right? But yeah.
Honestly, you should do that. Probably get a trademark. That would be smart.
I love it. I just love networking. I love everything about it. It has helped me personally, professionally. It has helped my businesses. So it's something of which if you're not doing it, what the heck are you doing?
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. So before we get into the main questions, we're going to start off with our opening segment, the hot seats. Now, I know it may sound a little tense. It's very chill. Honestly, I might have to change the name to the cold seat. It's very chill, actually.
The seat's warming up, man.
All right, don't even worry. It's just 4 questions I'm going to ask, and I'm going to ask them to just ask you to answer them to your best abilities, okay?
Sure.
All right, perfect. So question number 1. So outside the work that you do, tell me something about yourself in 1 sentence.
I like to read. I like to just go for long drives with no music on. I don't know if that's 1 sentence, but
it's all good. It's all good. Honestly, like, yeah, I've heard a lot of people say I like to read, but that second part about you like to go on long rides without music, go a little bit more into detail on that, because I could never. I honestly, if I am like, even if I'm traveling, whether it's like trance or whatever the case, I need to be listening to some music. It keeps me going. But like, what is it about you where it's like a nice long drive on the road, just nothing but silence and just hearing the sounds of the road? Like, what is it about that that's like suiting to you?
The calmness. You're not hearing any music. It's just literally you driving, focusing on where it is that you're going and thinking. So it's my chance, it's my opportunity to kind of think of how I can make myself a better person, how I can provide a better business service. How do I see myself 5 years from now? So it's my time to really just unwind, relax, set my conscience free. Not too much because I'm driving, right? But I did a long trip to Ottawa the other day, and literally on the way there, it's like about a 4 hour drive. There was no music on. It was just me just driving. And I did it straight. I think I stopped once to use the restroom, but literally it was just me just thinking, just driving, driving, driving. So it has worked for me. So they say if it's not broken, why fix it, right? So
I like that, and I like how you kind of gave some connectivity based on you got to know where you're going, you got to reach that final destination, and it takes a lot of focus and concentration, and even having something like music could be a little distracting. And sometimes like we'll have those distractions, we'll have those bumps in the road, but I like how you kind of broke it down. It's like you have to kind of stay in your lane. You have to ensure that your eye is on the prize. So I like the way you kind of gave that explanation, kind of like an analogy in a way.
yes, thank you, man. I do that sometimes.
We might hear more for this conversation for
Yay.
sure. Okay, next question I want to ask, and this one might be a spicy one. So we're gonna talk a little bit more about the networking mixers that you do, but is there a specific networking mixer event that's deep in your heart?
I'm going to take us back, not too far into time, but 2023, we started the actual network mixer. When I say we started the networking mixer initiative. So the first one we did, we kind of had them 1 month apart of each other. So the first one we did, it had about 25 people. The second one we did, it was 35 people. But the last one for 2023 had 65 people. And when I seen the 65, I was like, wow. Because I know what amount of work, I know what type of sweat equity goes into these things. So to kind of see where we were in the beginning to now at the end of the segment, to see that growth, it was something to kind of say, A, this is working. Two, to see people connecting with each other, it's working. And three, when people didn't want to leave, I said, this is working. So 2023, the last event for 2023, that's where I said, you know what? I like this. And I've been doing it ever since.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. And like you mentioned, it is not easy to put on an event just in general. There's a lot of plan and execution, but to have a good amount of people come out, that's another thing. I mean, for myself, if I plan an event, if 5 people come out, I would be jumping for joy because it's like
It's
you
a
never
number.
know. It's
It's
a
a number.
number. Right. So to even see it go from 25 to 35 to 65, now it's the matter of, well, let's go for 100. Let's see if we can get 100 at one point. I bet that's some of the goals that you have. So it's amazing. So, like you never forget your first one or you never forget your first stretch because that's the building grounds. And then those are things you can look back to and see that level of growth. So that's nice to hear.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So my next question is I want you to tell me an interesting fact that you rarely share about yourself.
I like jazz music.
Okay.
And another interesting fact, if I can say too, I don't know if I still have this skill, but as a young person growing up, um, my father put me into piano lessons. And what I took stock to is every Saturday that we would go, they would always be introducing a new book to be paid for. Um, so not knowing really my father's pocketbook, how big or small it was, I said to him one Saturday, I said, Dad, that's it. He goes, what do you mean? I said, you know what? I'm not doing this music thing anymore at the school. He's like, what do you mean? I said, well, I've been noticing that each Saturday we come, as I finish the previous lesson or the current lesson, previous lesson, now, doing what I've learned in real time and passing it, they would introduce a new book to you and you would have to pay. So he goes, well, if you stop going to this piano lessons, how are you going to learn to play piano? I said, don't worry about that. And I trained myself to play by ear. So the
Mm,
little I'll share, being in the church at that time, You would have access to drums, guitars, organs, keyboards. So you kind of had your own playground. So all of us used to want to play the drums, but a gentleman that's kind of dear to me, he said, "No, I want you on the keys, the keyboard." So it left from the keyboard to a B3 Hammond organ. So I trained myself how to actually not read music, but to kind of hear something be played and play it back. So, um, an interesting fact about me, I like jazz and I guess the B3 Hammond organ, which is very much I would say used in the jazz world. So
Yeah, that's crazy, honestly. I did not think that for someone like yourself, it would be, yeah, I learned how to play piano by ear because like that's very hard.
it
Anyone
is.
can teach someone how to play the piano, play the first couple of keys, play a chord, but to just hear it and then try to play it
Yeah.
back, that's definitely like an untapped skill for some people to have. So that's amazing. That's actually amazing. Okay, going on to the final question for this hot seat segment. What is your personal safe room? So, what is a safe space? It could be physical, it could be mental, that allows you to be your authentic self.
Can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, so what is your personal safe room? It could be like whatever your safe space is. It could be a physical safe space. So maybe it's your room, or maybe like it's a public location like the gym or the library. It could be a mental safe space. Like, what is the one safe space that allows you to just be you don't have to put on a mask for anyone?
Well, I got to say, right now, my office, which is the car, the Batmobile. Yeah, I get a lot of meetings done there. I spend a lot of time in the car just thinking, thinking about just life on a whole, business on a whole, my next move. So, yeah, I would say that's the safe space. And if I want to hear music, I could turn it on. If I don't want to hear music while I'm driving, I could turn it off. So, the safe space for me, I would say at the moment, the car.
That's nice. That's nice. I've heard a lot of responses of people saying the car. I feel like it's like a commonplace. It's something about it where you can just kind of tap out from everything, all the negative surroundings, and just do what you need to do, or even just take a break from stuff. So I feel like a car is like a very popular answer when it comes to like the hot seat.
Well, I'll change it then. Starbucks.
No, 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 no. Don't be switching. No, don't feel guilty now.
Just joking.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, those are all the questions for the hot seats. So that was the warm up. Now we're gonna get into the main questions. But again, if you're just coming in right now, you're listening to the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. We're here with Mr. Networking himself, Mr. Christopher Lawrence, the founder of Frequency Event Promotions. We're gonna a little bit more detail about Frequency Event Promotions. So let's get into it. So, Chris, a question I want to start with is outside of the many events that you do, and we talked about the networking mixer, and we're just also kind of mentioned as well, Chris is also a fellow podcaster as well. So like, this is why I'm really happy to have him on, because it's like it's like the brother connection with the podcasters. You got to have that. For those who may want to know, his podcast is called I Am an Entrepreneur. But I ain't gonna talk about it that much. I'm trying to be on a time crunch, guys. So like, bear with me. But Chris, I do want to know is what is the constant reminder you tell yourself when it comes to helping, with promotional materials? Because a lot of the work that you do is like, I think your slogan, I believe, is like we graphic design, we advertise, that's basically the premises of what you do. So what is the constant reminder you tell yourself when it's coming to create a promotional piece for someone? Like, is it more of just like, I need to make sure that I'm following whatever vision this person is bringing to me? Or maybe it's even a time management aspect. Is it something where I need to make sure I'm allocating the time to do these objectives efficiently? Like, what is the one thing you have to remind yourself in the work that you do so that way you're doing it at the highest levels possible?
So if I'm branding a brand, I need to understand everything possible about the brand. So, their mission, their vision, their philosophy, their customers, their branding colors, their taglines. So I need as much information as possible, and also to know a little bit more of who's in front of the brand, like the owner, the staff. So the more information I have, it's now getting that down on paper, and then now kind of like almost pretending as though I'm a part of that company, because I kind of am if I'm branding something, right? So once you do that now, it helps you now to kind of see from their lens potentially what a marketing campaign could look like, whether that's for 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 16 weeks, which is equivalent to 4 months. So it's literally, to answer the question, abstracting as much information as possible from that client, even the smallest detail to the biggest detail, getting that all done on paper and then rolling up from there. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's super important because I think for a lot of us, when it comes to creative promotional material, whether you're a content creator yourself or you are an entrepreneur, those little details matter a lot because, like you mentioned, there's that brand identity. So if you're not able to showcase what you do through your logo or through specific banners, or if you're trying to like sell merch, or if you have an idea of how you want people to see you from a visual perspective, then you kind of feel naked. It's kind of like a mannequin.
Yeah.
You know, you have no clothes on. Like, where's the style? Like, what makes it pop?
Yep. You got it.
Mm,
You got it.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I definitely have had periods of like that where I've just needed to take the time to figure out everything. So I can only imagine for you where it's every day someone's coming on. It's like, oh yeah, could you actually go back and send me this and that? I'm missing this piece. Like I can only imagine if it was multiple times you've had to go back and tell someone, could you add this and add that? So even a follow-up question, like how much patience do you try to have during times like this? Because I can only imagine. It's not, I'm not even trying to say it to be like condescending or to get you angry. It's like, oh man, this client, it's like they bugged me this one time. Like, no, I feel like it takes a lot of poise to do what you do.
Yeah, so I mean, to help out, because the thing is, some clients may not know where to actually how to answer your open-ended question, right? So what I do in the discovery call, whether that's like 15, 20 minutes, I try to get as much information as possible. And then what I would do is return back with like a questionnaire with some more intrinsic questions to kind of like dig into the roots. And what I mean by digging into the roots is getting everything out from that client, so that now they can actually hear themselves while they're writing what things they probably may not even have thought of that can be a part of like their marketing plan, right? So when I get that back now, if there's anything that I need to unpack, because I may not be sure what they're saying, but they know what they're saying, then it leads room, space, and opportunity to have a more wholesome conversation, because now I know a little bit about them and that we can have that dialogue. So at the end of that conversation, maybe it might constitute to get into several more conversations. Now I have the full picture as to what I need to do. We might have to do more video marketing. We might have to do more, focus groups. So from the data, from the information collected, it gives us that painted story as to what to do next.
I really like that. And
Yeah.
again, like you mentioned, it's super important to kind of nail all those details. And by the way, you're doing this by yourself. I'm assuming it's not
Well, I
a
got I
family.
got a team. I got a team, but pretty
Okay.
much what I do is I kind of stand in front of like these preliminary pieces, because if you don't have the painted story, you can't do anything. It's gonna be kind of jig jagged. So, yeah. But for the most part, I do a lot of the work by myself.
Yeah, I mean, I think having a team, we've talked about it many times on the show that it's super important. I feel when you get to a point where you don't have the time to finish even some of the simplest tasks, that's where you tell yourself,
Delegate,
I need a
delegate,
team.
delegate, delegate. Yep.
So I think for anyone listening right now, if you do need a team, definitely kind of assess your situation, figure it out. But also, if you are looking for promotional materials, look, Chris is your guy, and I can definitely tell there's
Mhm.
a want to make the customer, the client happy. It's not just to say
100%.
I'm skilled at this, I can get it done, and I can tell that there's a genuine like passion and love for what you do.
100%. Because the thing is, like for instance, marketing material, like promotional material. There's certain material that I use that's premium. That's what I sell. Whatever I use, that's what I want my client to kind of use, right? However, if it's not in their budget, there's other options we can explore. But I feel like if I'm taking you on as a client, I kind of have to look at that project as it's my own project, right? Like for my own company. So it's an invested interest for me. I believe in repeat business, so I got to try to do the job right the first time around, and hopefully you're happy. Hopefully you come back. If you don't, I'm gonna follow up with you. But yeah, I want to make sure that clients that come through our doors, they leave with a good first impression. It's important, right?
Definitely, definitely. I would probably say it's hard to get new clients, but you would have to be a master of retention in what you do because you're more likely to get new people to buy in your services than keep the same folks. It's definitely a more daunting challenge, but I definitely see that you care a lot about that customer service aspect.
It's a key part of any business. Customer service. You don't have it, I don't think you really have a business. You know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, going on to the second question. So, for someone who's very active within the Black entrepreneurship community, like I said, you are someone I see at a lot of events. You're not afraid to go out and network with people and just be yourself. Is it fair to say that most Black-owned businesses prioritize marketing and promotion to their full capacity, considering the work that you do you feel, and you kind of did probably talk about it a little bit, but do you feel most of the times when people come to you, it's they have a game plan, they have a structure, and it's just a matter of, okay, I just need someone to help me create the piece? Or is it more on the opposite side of the spectrum where they don't know much and they're kind of coming in, it's like, it's extra heavy duty. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I just heard that you do this stuff and I'm trying to like get something going. So do you feel more Black owned businesses are very aware and prioritize their marketing and promotion?
Um, I think on the whole, because I mean, with entrepreneurship, it's not just one size or color or creed. I think on the whole, what I'm seeing out there when I'm out there, because I'm out there, a lot of these business owners, when it comes to their marketing, their budget line is very small. And in my head, I'm like, if nobody knows you, nobody knows you. So, if anything, that marketing budget line needs to be kind of a little bit more bigger than what it is. Because if you do, let's say you print 20,000 postcard flyers, 5 by 7, if I may, and that's like a standard party size flyer, right? If I go out there, east, west, north, south, I'm talking at the GTA now, of those 20,000 flyers, postcards, not 20,000 people are going to call you. 20,000 people might have that postcard in their hand, but out of that 20,000, probably 200, 300, 350 might knock on the door, might look on your website, might send you a message, but you might not get a customer out of that 350 people. Probably out of that 350 people, probably like 30 might become customers. So one might say, well, why am I printing 20,000? Because if you didn't print the 20,000, you probably wouldn't even get that one client. And sometimes you just need that one client that will now bring 30 more. So, it's what I try to do is I try to let clients know, even taking off the sales hat, you got to invest in your marketing. Because if nobody knows you, nobody knows you. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, you kind of said it perfectly. So even how I got started, I did not do what you said, which was like focus on like the marketing, especially the budget stuff. I was someone that just went out to event after event after event. I didn't have no money to spend and say, hey, look, this is the safe room. It's a podcast. Listen to it. I literally had to do it the old fashioned way, like vintage, just go out and talk to people.
But that's
And
marketing, though. That's marketing.
yeah, you know what? I think that's another thing we could even say. If you are someone where you are getting started and, everyone has different situations where, like, I don't really have enough of a budget where I can go full course of action. Like, okay, let's print out flyers. Let's print out some stuff and sell it or, like, put it out there. If you want to just keep something where it's like, I don't have that much of a budget, networking, going out to events. And again, that's something you can definitely testify to, Chris.
100%. I mean, if you don't have a budget, you don't have a budget, but there are other ways to market a business. And like what I'm doing right now, I'm speaking, people are hearing. I don't know how many people are on the other side of the screen, but you know what I mean? So, like, I'll tell you something. After this podcast, I'm going to probably send an email and say, thank you very much for the opportunity. Can you tell me once this podcast is edited, can I have a copy? And you're probably going to say, okay, I'll do that. I'm going to take the same video that we're doing right now and I'm going to market it to let people know, A, I was on the Love Base show with my dear brother, Shon Williams. Check him out. He's the product of the Safe Room, but also it's also branding me. So any little thing can market your business. However, if you have money, you're generating money, start putting some money aside for your marketing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to have $1 million to market. I mean, the more money you have is better. But yeah, if you don't have the money at all, going out to events with your business card, you don't even need the paper card anymore. They got like digital. You can use your phone now and extract people's information as they can extract your contact information, right? So there are ways following up with people that you connect with. Imagine this: going to a network mixer, you meet like 20 people, you've had wholesome conversations with them. You go home, they go home, nobody follows up with each other. You just wasted 4 hours, your bus fare, however, with your Uber money. So these are ways you can market your business to get business.
Absolutely. And speaking of networking mixer, that's actually what I want to get into now. Going to the next question. So again, for some people who may have not experienced networking events as often, I know for some folks like yourself and I, like we're out like almost every month. Like there's not a month where it's like, oh, we're taking a time off, unless it's like we really choose to say, you know what, I'm not gonna be out. But 9 times out of 10, we're out there, we're networking, we're connected with people. But for those who may not be as more of an extrovert when it comes to going out, what can you talk about in terms of like the networking mixer? What really is that about? How is the experience, and how does it create a unique palette of resource sharing amongst other people who do attend it?
So of our mixers you're talking about, right?
Yes.
So Network Mixer 4.0, the Roadshow edition, we started in December of 2024, and we've had had a lot of industry experts doing what they do, talking about whether it might be vision boarding, how to use AI to get sales, from actually how to actually take your elevator pitch, prepare it as a 30-minute, 30-second, and 3-minute presentation. Um, I'm saying that to say this: with these mixers, it's actually amalgamated people from different industries with the premise to network. And also, the other aspect is to kind of learn from these industry experts. But what the network mixers do, it gives you space, it gives you opportunity to connect with one another, information share as to what you guys do, and to see kind of like from afar the conversations that are being had. It's just like holy chicken if you're religious and holy chicken if you're not, because what you're hearing people say is just like you kind of hear it from afar. This could be a potential partnership or a potential cluster of other businesses coming together to probably cross promote or to probably start an organization within an organization. So the network measures that we are doing and have done, I've seen people actually form partnerships. I've seen people leave the network mixers and be on each other's podcasts. I've seen this, right? So to be kind of in front of it or behind it, beside it, to be involved with it, it just shows me that people need spaces like this to actually connect. Because if they were doing this on a frequent basis, there'd be no need for a network mixer, right? So people need this. I would say to have more of an in-person network mixer than online. I mean, I know we're online right now. Online does work, but there's something different when you're doing networking in person, man. I think there's just more magic, if I could say it that way, that I see that happens. So Yeah, our network masters, they do that. They very much
Mm-hmm.
do that.
Definitely, definitely. I totally agree in terms of like in-person networking does have more of an impact compared to online networking. Online networking definitely works. But I think even in-person networking, when you meet with someone, I think the impact of the follow up is much more effective because it's like you are promising someone like, okay, when I get home, I'm going to connect with this person. We're going to follow up. We're going to talk about next steps. Whereas sometimes if you're in front of a screen and you finish a Zoom call, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, whatever you use, sure you can follow up, but then it's easy to probably close your laptop, take a break, and then next thing you know, you don't get back to the person until a week later. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, my bad for the delay. And you know what? I'll put my hand up. Victim suspect number one. I have done that multiple times. I am not perfect. I have said things where like, oh, I'll follow up with you. And then next thing you know, hey Sean, where's that email? I'm just like, oh, my bad, my bad. So like I definitely would say to anyone out there, if you have the opportunity, if you have something that you're doing, go out to in-person networking because you'll never know who you meet to. Sometimes you'll think, oh well, I do this. There would be no correlation. You'll only say that, but trust me, when you go there in person, it will sometimes be the people who have the farthest idea from yours that you connect in some way, whether it's like, okay, maybe it's not we're business partners, but maybe we work in different ways. Maybe you know someone or both of us know another person and we have a connection through there and we can keep in touch. So you never know if you don't go out there and network.
I echo what you're saying, 150%. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yes.
more effective when I go out and come back with like 10, 12, 15 business cards that I'm following up with. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like, it's challenging to kind of like put them all into your CRM, but I'm telling you, to send those follow up emails, it's perfect. They know that you're serious. They're serious if they follow back up with you. And then, hey, let's see what aligns, because it may not align, but if it does align, hey.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, definitely. All right. Quickly, I do want to ask the next question, and it is pertaining to I'm an Entrepreneur podcast. So I just want to quickly ask, like, just again, what's the mission behind it? I know we had a conversation ahead of time saying you're looking to wrap things up and you want to make sure it's wrapped up beautifully. So I want to know, like, what's the plan? But again, for those who may not know about I am an Entrepreneur, just break it down a little bit. Just what was the origins behind that?
The origin behind I Am an Entrepreneur, we started it in 2017. So wow, that seems like a lifetime ago, man. But yeah, the goal was to, if you said to me you're an entrepreneur, I wanted to interview you. We wanted to interview you, and we
I'm an
did
entrepreneur.
that. So we would interview you, right? We did no criteria check. It was just if you said you were an entrepreneur, we would interview you. So the first podcast had about 10 men, 10 men, some key men of our city, Kofi Frimpong, Colin Williams, Ryan Knight, Kenneth Toppin. So Kenneth Toppin is a realtor. Ryan Knight, serial entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Colin Williams, he was a McDonald's consultant, quit his job, started the Gospel Cafe, now has 2 restaurants and a food truck. So these were the types of people we were interviewing. Then we had an all ladies panel, powerful women doing some great things. One lady that's connecting with youth through their tattoos. One lady that was actually had her own honey farm. So it left from there to just having more beautiful conversations with entrepreneurs. I've learned so much. I've even learned that a lot of people who said they were entrepreneurs, they weren't. They were hobbyists. But you still appreciated what they had to contribute to the conversation. So it's been a blast. I've learned so much. I've grown through those conversations. We haven't really aired a lot of what we should have aired, but now with all the content we have, it's only fair, it's only prudent to actually air it. I am an entrepreneur podcast is coming to a close. Why? Because I think I've grown. So now I'm looking to do another podcast. I can't say too much about that, Sean, but definitely want you a part of it. But now I want to be more intentional. So if you're an entrepreneur, you have to have sales that's tallied up to be a certain amount. You have to be in business for a certain period of time. You have to have employees. Now you're probably saying, why am I going to that kind of trajectory? Well, I feel with more money, it doesn't necessarily come with more problems, but I guess that's what it is. More challenges. This is where you learn. You learn from the challenges. Not with all the fluffy stuff. Things are going great. No, 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 no. You failed, and this is why you failed. However, this is what you did to bounce back. You were at a $50,000 deficit. Now you've actually quadrupled your money. You're no longer in debt now because now you have multiple locations. You franchise. So I'm looking for a better narrative from entrepreneurs who are really entrepreneurs because I feel as an interviewer, you can really get those stories that young entrepreneurs, seasoned entrepreneurs, they need to hear, right? So it's not a bad thing that I'm closing down. I'm an entrepreneur, but to wrap it up in a bow, we're going to be reaching out to not all 85 persons that we've interviewed, but select a few, and we'll have like a reunion. And it's something of which I want to have it for probably 50 people. We'll have a panel, and we'll just kind of say, hey, we interviewed you like several years ago. Where are you now in your business? So that's my piece with I'm an Entrepreneur podcast. It was a great run, great ride, but it's time to now turn up the frequency, right? So
I love that. I love that. I cannot wait to see the evolution of I am an entrepreneur, whether if it's under that same name or it takes a new moniker. I cannot wait to again. I'm spoiling everything. Let me just keep my mouth shut before Chris takes me to the back end.
no, no.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. Okay. I want to go into this role play exercise. So pretend, let's say I'm a client and I'm coming to you. I just need your service. I need some help. I'm someone who's needing a banner. I'm about to go do some tabling at events, just as hypothetically, guys. Don't worry, I'm not spoiling anything on my end either. But I'm looking to have a banner so that way, when people are passing by, they know exactly who I am. Because who would want to have a table set up and then people are always asking, who are you? Who are you? Sometimes a banner, visuals, it can tell half the story, and then it's up to you to tell the rest of the story. So I just want to do a little bit of role play exercising, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay, cool. I just gotta get into my acting bag just real quick. It's not. No. Let me calm down. I don't go too crazy, but I'm just gonna just kind of paint up a situation. Okay. Hey, Chris. My name is Shon. I was seeing some of the stuff that you do on Instagram, and I heard that you create promotional material for entrepreneurs, for business owners, and I'm looking for a banner, just a promotional banner for my business. I have a tabling event in the next couple of weeks, so maybe you could tell me a little bit more about what you do, what you offer, maybe some of your prices, or just help me to figure out how we can, work together.
Right. Well, thank you so much for picking up the phone and calling me. Can you tell me a little bit more about your business? Like, what do you do? Who are some of your
Yes,
clients?
absolutely. So I have this business. It's called The Safe Room. It's more of like a podcast and show that I do, but I have conversations with many people, and I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years. My audience kind of varies around that 24 to 50 range. A lot of, people listen to me across the world because I'm on a radio station. And I'm looking to get more exposure within the city of Toronto. I'm hoping to get more people to listen into because, Toronto's my home city. I want to show some love. And I'm hoping that maybe doing some tabling events and getting to talk more about my show and what do I do could generate more people to tune into the podcast.
Okay, so would this be your first vending table event?
Yes. So I'm super excited, but obviously this is new to me in terms of experience. So this will be my first time.
All right, no problem. And I'm assuming that you already have a following right now.
Yeah, I built up a following. I do have a pretty medium-sized crowd, if you want to say. I got about roughly 500 to 1,000 followers, but I'm hoping to grow little bit more. My benchmark is probably 5K by the end of 2025. So I'm hoping to expand and probably doing table events like this could be good.
Oh yeah, so I wasn't asking you that to kind of say, you need more followers because I believe in value versus vanity. So, I mean, I'm saying that to say this. I was just wondering if there's a few people out of the 500 that have something good to say about your podcast.
Okay, I actually appreciate that little tidbit of feedback. I actually do have a couple of people I've got, testimonials and reviews from about 5 close friends of mine who I've had on the show. So they really love to show love to me, and it's genuine love. It's not fake love. So yeah, I do have a couple of testimonials on me.
So the reason why I'm saying that with banners, and currently right now we're doing a banner sale, which is for real. It doesn't involve or include like designing of it. However, if you need me to design it, I can help you with that. That being said, when it comes to banners, less is more. There's no sense of putting a lot of text information, pictures information if it doesn't really do your brand good justice. So less is more. I can give you a template to kind of show you what I mean by that, but keeping the banner very simple with high definition pictures, good visible text, a way of how people can get a hold of you, probably with a QR code, and probably a blurb, some blurbs, probably two or three of like some short reviews. That's something of which, on a banner, it can work volumes for you. Now, the banner is not the be all or end all. You got to do a lot of the talking, but I can assure you, doing this banner for you, it will bring you attention. And the first thing somebody might say to you if they don't know what the safe room is, what is the safe room? And that's how you start the conversation. So there's other branding material that you could use for being successful at a vendor's market. But because you're asking about the banner, probably you can go through those pieces first. I'll send you out a questionnaire just to kind of figure out more about your company. I know it's been around for 4 years. I know you got the 500 followers. But the more I know about your business, I could probably help you to develop, more branding pieces that will complement your banner.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Okay. So, one final question is just like I mentioned, this table event is roughly around 6 weeks from now. I just want to kind of reach out to you now for this discovery call. So that way I'm just ahead of my game. How long would the process roughly take to finish this banner?
Right. Now, if we're designing it after getting all of, the tangibles, it takes about 1 or 2 days to design. To get the actual unit to you, it will be actually in its covering case. It'll be already assembled. Your banner spread is actually with premium material. That should take about 5 to 7 business days to actually be delivered to you. If you need a rush order on it, we can work something out where that's concerned. But yeah, not too long at all.
Honestly, I'm sold. After you said those words, I am sold. So you know what? I will send you all the details. I'll be waiting for that questionnaire, and then I'll make sure to give you everything that you need. But I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your help. Wonderful customer service, and yeah, I'll definitely even tell some of my friends because I have a couple other people who they have
Mhm.
their own business. So I'll definitely refer them to you.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you so much, Chris. Have a great day.
Yeah, hey, you too.
All right. So yeah, like, honestly though, like when you told me that the 1 2 days, I'm like, I'm gonna have to reach out to Chris like in real time. Hold on a second. You're fast and efficient. I like that.
You gotta be right. You gotta be, and the attention span for people nowadays is getting shorter and shorter. So the best you can do is to kind of take the guesswork out of something for a client and promise them a speedy, return. It's good. It's good for business. It's good for you. It's good for the client. It's good for everybody, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, if you're just coming in, you're listening to the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. We're here with Mr. Christopher Lawrence, Mr. Networking himself, the founder of Frequency Event Promotions. We asked all our questions. We just finished our role play session, and I know we're on a time crunch, but if I could just spare maybe 5 more minutes, because I just want to do this one final activity. This is more on the fun side. So I know a lot of people are wondering, like, oh boy, what does Shon have this week? I have a good one. Don't worry. So, Chris, you mentioned you like jazz music. Now, this activity has nothing to do with jazz music, so that's on me. I should have probably done more of my research on that.
It's
But
okay.
we're gonna play a little game called Guess the Song by the Lyrics. And this is 80s and 90s edition.
Oh man, I don't know.
You know what? We'll see how this goes. I tried to pick like some common songs. I will say most of them are R&B. Most of them are R&B. There's only one rap song, so I'm being generous. I'm telling you the genres. Okay, I'll try to give some hints.
Tips. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll give you some, but basically I'll read out the lyrics, and for each guess or for each round, I would say you have 3 guesses to get the right answer.
And I'm just dating the artist, or
You have to name the song, like the actual song. So, I mean, probably the song and artist, because obviously, like, there's multiple songs with from different artists. So, the
right.
song and the artist. So, again, I'm going to read the lyrics, and I'm going to, yeah, it's as simple as that. Simple as that. Say the
Cool. Let's
lyrics.
go for it.
All right. And for those listening, play along. Don't cheat. Do not cheat. Okay. Keep the comments yourself. I don't want nothing in the comments to help Chris. Okay. He's on his own for this one.
Oh man.
All right, here we go. Round 1. Okay, here's the lyrics. And I dreamed of ever since. Now I build my confidence. Girl, next time you come my way, I'll know just what to say.
Holy. Hmm. And this is from the 90s, you said, right?
It's the 80s and the 90s.
Man, Boys to Men.
Boys to Men, it's not Boys to Men. Do you want me to read it again?
Sure.
Okay. And I dreamed of ever since. Now I build up my confidence. Girl, next time you come my way, I'll know just what to say.
Damn. Is it I just go to say Stevie Wonder?
It's not Stevie Wonder.
Uh,
Okay, I'll give you a couple hints. So this dropped in the 90s. This is like it is a classic. It's a solo artist.
okay.
A male solo artist in the 90s. It's a very synonymous song.
If I heard it, I'd be like, that's it. But that's the whole point. I'm not supposed to hear the song. I'm supposed to hear the lyrics. 90s. Keith Sweat.
It's not Keith Sweat. That's your third guess. It
Uh,
was Can We Talk?
Kevin
We Talk? It
Campbell.
was
Can
Kevin.
we
It,
talk for a minute?
it was like literally right before the chorus kicks in. So I'm like, I thought you would have
Oh,
got that, Chris.
damn.
Okay. All right. It's okay. It's okay. We got a couple more rounds. Okay. This is where we bounce back. Okay. We're going to bounce back from this one. Okay. Round 2. This one, I'm going to throw you a bone. Okay. I'm actually going to throw you in. All right. So here we go. I'm actually expecting you to get this on the first guess. No pressure. No pressure.
Wait.
All right. Round 2. Silly of me to think that I could ever have for my guy. How I love you. How I want you.
Oh my gosh, I know this one. Oh man, well, we can't say it's Tevin Campbell because that's not Tevin Campbell. Um, she is Murphy, man. Holy chicken.
I'm
Chanel wants to
seeing
help me.
wants to help.
Chanel.
You know what?
Thanks,
That's my
Chanel.
sister. That's my sister
Oh,
too. My sister's trying to like jump in and like, you know what, Chanel? You can't say the artist or the song, but you can give a couple of hints. Don't give it too easy. You want me to read it again?
sure.
Okay. Silly of me to think that I could ever have for my guy. How I love you. How I want you.
I know this. I know this one. And this is a solo artist.
Yes. Listen to the way I'm enunciating on the how I love you, how I want you.
I want you. Damn.
Well, there we go. I see the comment. Chanel says we share the same last name, so that there's a hint.
Oh, you should have seen last name Williams. Oh my gosh. I give up.
So you're throwing in the towel?
Throw in the towel.
It's Silly by Denise Williams. Yeah,
Oh,
silly of me to think that I could ever have for my guy how I love you.
oh man.
Okay, Chris.
Oh my God, no, this is not good.
Honestly, like, okay. I'm gonna try to throw another one. We got two more. We got two more.
Okay.
Round three. This one's rap. This one's rap.
Okay,
So I'm
okay,
telling you
okay.
right now, it drops deep as it does in my breath. I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death. Behind or beyond the walls of intelligence, life is defined.
That's a rap group.
It's a solo rap artist.
I was gonna say Nas, but I know it's not Nas.
It is a Nas song. I will give you that. It is a Nas song, but which one? Listen again. This is like one of the most iconic lines. I'll say it again. It drops deep as it does in my breath. I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death. Beyond the walls of intelligence, life is defined.
Oh man, if I heard a song. One mic.
It's not. It's not. That's your first guess.
Nas is like.
Nope, that's your second guess. I'll
Uh,
give you another hint. It's on Illmatic. One of the songs is on Illmatic.
oh my God, I feel bad right now. I'm a hip hopper, but man, I don't feel like one right now. I don't know, Sean.
Honestly, Chanel's like, put me in, coach. Oh, okay, Chris. It's
Let Chanel
you.
help me. Help me out, Chanel.
You know what? Are you throwing in the towel, Chris?
Chanel's gonna help me before I throw in the towel.
Okay, Chanel, don't do me dirty. Don't do me dirty.
All right, I'll
Don't
throw
give
in
it
the
away.
towel. I'll throw in the towel.
She's putting up the hands emoji. Okay, we're gonna have to move on. It's New York State of Mind.
Oh,
I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death. Oh, Chris.
oh man.
Chris, honestly, I have one more. I don't even know if I want to say it because, like, I feel like that was good. The last one's gonna be the hard one. So, but you know what? We're gonna do it just for the vibes. For the vibes. Last round, and this one's a little bit different. I will give you this. It's more of a not a verse or a chorus, but it's more of like, I guess, an intermission within a song. All right.
Gotcha.
I'll give you that spectrum. So here we go. Last round. Right about now, we on the intermission tip. So all you ladies, go get your towels. You know what I'm saying? Because it's laid out like that, you know. But wait a minute. We ain't through. Kick the vamp.
Genuine.
It's not genuine. It's not genuine.
Oh man. Where's Chanel when you need her, man?
It's a sticky one. I'll say it one more time. Right about now, we on the intermission tip. So all you ladies, go get your towels. You know what I'm saying? Because it's laid out like that. You know? But wait a minute. We ain't through. Kick the vamp.
Timberland.
Timberland? It's not Timberland. Hold on. Chanel said she's in the comments. She said she's here. Chanel, give him a hint. Give Chris a hint. I think Chris is like, I need some help.
Yeah.
And again, for those listening, let me know how much you got right out of the. I guess we're on round 4. Out of the 4, which ones did you get right? Let me know. But and listen, I get it, Chris. It's not easy. Like for anyone, for like who like lyrics kind of come and go. It come and go.
Nickname for Houston.
Yes.
What's that?
There's the
Wait,
hint.
what's that guy's name that used to be with that group, man? The R&B group was about like 4 of them or 3 of them. Marcus Houston.
Okay, well,
What's the name?
again, it does have to do with a group. It does have to do with a group.
Yeah.
I remember the hint that Chanel gave you, nickname for Houston.
Houston. Marcus Houston, right? No.
Well, it's not Marcus Houston. That's your second guess. I think Is it second or third? I don't know. You know, I'll give you another freebie. You know, that might have been your third, but I'll give you one more guess.
Okay.
Remember, nickname for Houston.
Oh
It's
my God.
R&B group.
Pretty Rick. No, not Pretty Ricky. They came out in the 2000s. Houston. What? Chanel, where are you at, man? I don't like this game anymore.
She says she believes in you.
Houston. Nickname for Houston.
I'll read it one more time. Right about now, we on the. You know what? Maybe I'll say it even in the voice. I'll say in the voice. Right about now, we on the intermission tip. So all you ladies, go get your towels. You know what I'm saying? Because it's laid out like that, you know. But wait a minute, we ain't through. Kick the vamp.
Oh man, Houston. You got me, man. You got me.
Okay, so unfortunately, guys, it seems like Chris is not going to get one for today. Are you throwing in the towel, Chris? It's Knocking the Boots by H-Town.
H-Town. Oh, everybody knocking the boots. Oh my gosh.
Nickname for Houston. H-Town. You know what, Chris? I will say this. You didn't give in. You did good still. You did good because a lot of people have just stopped after maybe like one guess for each round.
No, I'm a trooper, man.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. But that's all I have for today. Chris, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate everything you shared about Frequency Effect Promotions. You're doing some fantastic work. Just quickly tell the people what you have going on. I think you have a flyer you want to show folks.
Yeah, so next week, Thursday, April the 17th, we are doing a Sophisticated Thursdays. What it is a place for you to unwind, set your conscience free, and literally dress up, listen to background music. It's sip and chill. It's happening at 165 East Liberty Street. So I'm really encouraging entrepreneurs, creatives, 9-to-5ers, come out, have a nice time. Shake a leg if you must, if you are inclined to do so. Shon will be there. I'll be there because I have to be there. The tickets are $25, and we're going to have a grand old time. This is the third installment, and I would love to see each and every one of you. We're building something here in Toronto for the entrepreneur, and we just want people to come and have some fun. So if you need more information, check us out on Instagram by going to Frequency Event Promotions on Instagram, and you can get more information about Sophisticated Thursdays, baby.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Chris. And thank you to everyone tuning in to the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. You can follow me at the Safe Room Official or follow my personal page at the President of TO. Again, Chris, thank you so much for coming on. It was always great to, chat it up with you, but I'm glad we finally got this conversation in. You're definitely welcome back anytime on the show. But until then, for everyone listening, make sure you tune in next week to your favorite show on Love Bay Radio. But until then, we'll see you guys next time.
Take care, everybody. Take care of yourself and each other. Peace.
Of course.